25th of December, Rabbi Moore, Parsha hashavua with Rashi Vayechi.
Baruch Hashem, very good. And yourself?
Baruch Hashem, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Good. Yeah. Back to Pasuk Lamed Aleph.
Vayomer ki shav'a li vayishava
Yom Ishav Ali Vayishava Lo.
lo vayishtachu Yisrael al rosh hamita. Okay, so let's see. He said, swear to me, and he swore to him. And Israel prostrated himself towards the head of the bed.
Right.
Vayish tachu Yisrael ta'ala v'idane. When a fox is at his time of greatness, sagid le, bow to him.
Then go ahead. When the fox is at time of,
Greatness.
I didn't hear the word, sorry?
Greatness.
Greatness.
It actually just says what a fox at his time. Greatness
Right.
is
What means?
inserted by the art scroll.
Yeah, fox in its time, bow down to him. So there's a medrash which says, I think the Sifsei Chachamim brings it here, that there's 1 month when the fox is the king of the animals. So that month, everybody, even though he's not necessarily the largest or strongest of the animals, nevertheless, he also gets a turn to be. I guess it's if animals run a democratic society. Anyway, so in his time, when the fox has his turn to rule, so give him the correct honor and bow down to him. So the pshat is over here that even though it was not necessarily appropriate that Yaakov Avinu, Israel, should bow down to his son, it should be the other way around. But nevertheless, since Yosef was in a position of authority and rulership, so therefore Yaakov bowed down to him in order to honor him in his position of rulership, even though he was not necessarily in a normal status. And had it not been that Yosef was in this position of rulership, it was not be appropriate that Yisrael should bow down to his son. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. So al rosh hamita hafach atzmo. He turned himself litzad hashechina, to the side of the Shechina, of the Spirit of God. Mikan Amru, from here, they said,
The Chazal said,
Shechina lemala me ra'a shosav shel chola, that the Shechina is
rest,
above the head of one who is ill.
right.
Devar acher, alternatively, al rosh hamita, toward the head of the bed, al she haisa mitaso shalema, because the bed was whole. V'lo haya ba rasha, and there was no wicked person in the bed. Shaharei Yosef Melech Hu, that see, now Yosef was a king. Va'od she nishba levain hagoyim, and moreover, he had been taken captive among non-Jews. V'harei hu omeid b'tzad ko.
Bitzit koi.
B'tzidko, and see that he stood in his righteousness.
It means he remained steadfast in his righteousness.
Right, he was amongst the non-Jews, and yet nevertheless he stayed right.
Which is something truly amazing.
Yeah, he was there for quite a long time.
He was there for 22 years. I mean, this is before Yaakov came.
And he was very young when he got there. He didn't have
17.
strong
He was a
foundation.
17-year-old young boy. And he's, I mean, he went through whatever Egypt had to offer. I'm not saying in a positive sense. First of all, he was a year in the house of Potiphar, and he was constantly being pressed upon by Potiphar's wife. She tried to seduce him, and then he was another 12 years in the prison, in the dungeon, together with probably the worst elements of Egyptian society. And then when he was 30, he got catapulted up to royalty, and was probably then Egyptian high society also necessarily were not necessarily of the highest morals there either. And yet he managed to remain steadfast in his righteousness. Okay. Hello, Mayor.
Good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. We had visitors from the States.
Sorry?
We had some visitors from the States. They just dropped in for like 10, 15 minutes, but
Okay.
okay.
So you came at just at the appropriate time because we're about to start chapter Memches.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah?
Yep, I'm there.
Okay. Pasuk, please read. Yeah. Memches, Pasuk Aleph.
Okay, it says, Vayehi, whoops, sorry about that. Vayehi acharei hadvarim ha'eleh, vayomer liYosef, hine avicha choleh, vayikach et shnei vanav imo, et Menashe v'et Ephraim. Okay, so it happened after these things, and he said to Yosef, behold, Avicha, your father is ill. And he took his two sons with him, Menashe and Ephraim.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rashi says, Vayomer Yosef, that he said to Yosef.
It doesn't say who said.
Yeah, it doesn't say. So it says, Echad min hamagidim, one of the messengers. Okay. V'harezeh mikra katzar.
Katsar.
Katzar. And here, this, I guess, pasuk is shortened.
Right, it's in an abbreviated verse, meaning that it doesn't say explicitly who was the one who came to tell Yosef.
Oh, okay. The Yeshomrim, and there's those who say, Ephraim haya ragil lifnei Yaakov. Ephraim was usually before Yaakov.
Yeah, no, was used to being to be serving before Yaakov, to be attending to Yaakov.
Oh, attending to Yaakov. Okay.
The Talmud.
The Talmud, to study.
Right.
Okay.
They learn together.
They learn together. Ukisheh chala Yaakov. And when Yaakov got sick, the Eretz Goshen, in the land of Goshen, halach Ephraim etzel aviv l'mitzrayim l'hagid lo. So Ephraim went to his father, to Egypt, to tell him. Okay, second Rashi, vayikach et shnei banav imo, and he took his two sons with him. Kedei she yivarchem Yaakov, so that Yaakov could bless them, lifnei moto, before his death. Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's why he took his two sons. By the way, if you make a cheshbon at this time, how old they were, Ephraim and Menashe must have been around 20 years old.
Oh.
I mean, they were born during the 7 years of plenty. And Yaakov Avinu came down 2 years into the famine. And now he lives 17 years. He lived in Egypt for 17 years. So they must have been in their 20s. Okay. Pasuk base. Lou, please. Vayaged liYaakov.
Vayaged liYaakov, Vayomer hinei bincha Yosef ba elecha, Vayis chazek Yisrael v'yeshev
al hamita.
Vayeshev al hamita. Okay, so and he told Yaakov, and he said, behold, your son Yosef has come.
He's come, yeah.
So Israel exerted himself, and he sat on the bed.
Right. Obviously, being in a lying position.
So Rashi says Vayaged Hamagid Liakov. My English says the messenger told Yaakov.
Right.
Hamagid means the messenger.
No, Hamagid means the one who told.
Right. So it doesn't
It
actually
does
say.
says he told. It just the pasuk says he told Yaakov. Who's he? Doesn't say. It doesn't specify who he is.
Right. The teller. A magid is a teller, right? The teller told him. Below Ferash me, and it did not explain who it was.
Specify. It didn't specify who it was.
Vaharbe mikraos tzidrei lashon, and there are many verses abbreviated in their language.
Right. Which are written in an abbreviated way.
V'yischazek Yisrael, and Yisrael strengthened himself.
Yeah.
Amar, he said, Af al pi shehu b'ni, even though that he is my son, Melechu, he is a king. Achalek lo kavod, I will accord him honor. Mikan, from here, shecholkin kavod lemalchus. One should accord honor to royalty.
Okay.
And similarly, Moshe chalak kavod lamalchus. Moshe accorded honor to royalty. Vayardu chol
V'yordu chol avodecha.
avadecha ele, eli. Then all these slaves of yours will come and bow down to me.
And it doesn't say you yourself, Paro, are going to come down to me.
Ah,
That's what actually happened.
ah,
Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to kind of belittle Paro and saying, you're going to come down and bow down to me
right.
and teach me to leave. That's why he said, all these servants of yours are going to come down to me. But Lamaisi, he was intimating that Paro himself is also going to come. V'chein Eliyahu.
Eliyahu, and similarly, Eliyahu, vayeshanes mas nav v'gomer.
Right.
He girded his loins, etc.
Right.
Not sure what that refers to.
He says regard to Achov, even though Achov was a sinner.
Oh yeah, the footnote says from Kings 1846, the verse continues, he ran before Achav. Elijah ran with enthusiasm ahead of the wicked Achav in order to show honor to royalty.
Yeah. So the Mefarshim asked the obvious question over here. Here Rashi goes to town and says, from here we learn that you've got to give honor to a king. Because we see that Israel, Yaakov, summoned his strength and he stood up and gave respect to Yosef. We just had 2 psukim ago. So not only did Israel summon his strength and sat on the bed, that's this pasuk, he had a much greater thing. It says Yisrael bowed down to Yosef.
Mm.
It says Vayishtachu Yisrael al Rosh Hamita. So what happened there? Why didn't Rashi mention over there? Okay, from here we learn you've got to give honor to a king. That's a bigger raya. Yaakov Avinu actually bowed down to Yosef, not just sat up and gave him respect. So the Mefarshim explain as follows, that in Pasuk Lamed Aleph, when it says that Yisrael bowed down al Rosh Hamita, there it means that he was showing gratitude to Yosef for the fact he had agreed to take upon himself to bury him after his death. So in that respect, that's why he bowed down to him then. Vayishtach Yisrael al Rosh Hamita. And that's what Rashi means, Ta'ala be'idnei sagidle. The fox in its time bowed down to him. Meaning, the one who's the ruler and has the wherewithal and the ability to carry out things which ordinary people are not able to. So him, if he asks a favor of him and he agrees to do it, so you've got to give gratitude to that person because he's doing you a tova. And especially if that person is the unique person, the one and only person who can fulfill your request, and other person cannot. So then for sure you've got to show that person gratitude for being able to help you out to fulfill your request. Okay, so that's what Pasuk Lamed Aleph is talking about. But over here, Yaakov Avinu wasn't asking anything of Yosef. He was just bringing his sons. So he wasn't asking any special favors of him. And yet, Yaakov Avinu nevertheless showed respect to Yosef. So then from that we learn out that even though he wasn't necessarily had any special request of Yosef over here, he's just merely coming to visit. Nevertheless, Israel, Yaakov Avinu accorded Yosef honor. And similarly in the case of Paro as well, where it says that by the Makas Bechoros, he's going to come running. Now, at that point, Moshe Rabbeinu did not need to accord Paro any honor whatsoever. He didn't need Paro for anything. On the contrary, Paro needed him. Yet, nevertheless, the way Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to Paro was in a respectable way, an honorable way, because as he says, he didn't tell him, by the way, you're going to come running to me and come and tell me to get out of Egypt. He didn't say that. He didn't say you're going to come. He says your servants are going to come to me. So this way he showed him honor even in a situation where he wasn't necessarily requesting anything of him. And similarly in the third case of Eliyahu and Achav, also the same idea. Eliyahu purely gave honor to Achav purely because he was a king, for no other ulterior motive. So that's the parallel between these three cases. Okay.
Kind of amazing that it's giving examples of people who are evil.
Correct.
I could see he's giving honor to Yosef, even though he's his son. But Yosef is a tzaddik. But
Sorry?
To give honor to Paro, who is an evil person. I mean, he's a person who took baths in the blood of Jewish children.
Right.
It's kind of hard to understand. He
was also Achav was also a pretty bad guy. He tried to in fact his wife Izebel tried to search the entire land to have Eliyahu assassinated.
I mean, if we put it in today's terms, I don't think anybody would show honor to someone like, for example, Saddam Hussein,
Right.
even though he was the ruler of the country.
So in that respect, in the truth is, if we have anybody nowadays who has the real position of a king or of a proper ruler, the Maisa I once heard, I don't know what's happened to him, I haven't seen him in years. There was this African prince who converted to Judaism.
Hmm.
He used to live in Harnof, and then he moved to Tzfas, and I haven't seen him in years. But one of the things he mentioned, I met him. He actually, my older son, got married to somebody, and the family, my daughter-in-law's family, lived in the same building as this African prince. And he actually came to Shabbos Sheva Brachos, he came to Suda Shlishis, he spoke there. It was very interesting. Anyway, one of the things he mentioned was that this Indian of royalty, that basically his father was in a position, he was the head of some tribe I'm not sure, in South Africa or somewhere, one of those states in the southern part of Africa. And he actually had the power to put somebody to death. You know, if he got on his wrong side, he would say, okay, off with his head, which was pretty frightening. Okay, but that Parsha, so the meaning of royalty is somebody who has pretty much in power to do whatever he wants. Okay, let's continue. Meir, Pasuk Dalet.
Dalit, okay. Bear with me, Dalit. Okay, let's see, Dalit. Vayomer Eli.
Did we do Pasuk
Hineni.
Gimel?
I don't think we did Gimel.
Oh,
Right.
Gimel. Okay, Vayomer Yaakov El Yosef, Kel Shaddai, or Kel Shakai, I should say, near Eli Beluz, Be'eretz Canaan, Vivarech Oti. So Yaakov said to Yosef, Kel Shaddai appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and he blessed me.
Now, it's interesting. He uses the term, Yaakov uses the term, Kel Shakai. Because the Maisa, Akash Baruch Hu appeared to Yaakov twice in Luz. One, when he left, at the beginning of Parshas Vayechi, when he left the land of Israel, on his way to Choron, to the house of Lavan. And then he appeared to him as well on the way back. But on the way there, he didn't appear to Yaakov Avinu with this name, Kel Shakai. At the beginning of Parshas Vayechi, he doesn't, it's a lashon there. This is Ani Hashem. Whereas in Parshas Vayishlach, when Yaakov Avinu came back to his father Yitzchak, that's chapter Lamed Vav. Sorry, no, chapter Lamed Hey. Yeah, Pasuk Yud Aleph, chapter 35, Pasuk 11. Vayomer Elokim, Ani Kel Shakai, Preu Revei, Goyo Kalgo Miyemimeko, Melachim Melechalotzech Yitzei. So this is what to Yaakov's referring. This is the blessing which HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him. Ani Kel Shakai. And the term Shakai, by the way, which actually meaning pronounced in the proper way is Shaddai, right? Comes to the same thing. That Rashi explains in a few places, means HaKadosh Baruch Hu is all-sufficing, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu has the ability to provide for every creature and every aspect of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creation. Means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no shortage of resources to do what he wants. So that's what he's saying. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I am the Almighty. Kael is Almighty. Shakai, who has all providing, right? So this, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu appeared to me, he appeared to me in such a form. That's what he's saying. Yaakov said, Kael Shakai, and he blessed me. And what was the blessing? Let's carry on, Pasuk Dalet.
Okay, Dalet. Vayomer Elai, Hineni Mafrecha v'hirbiticha unataticha likal amim v'natati et haaretz hazot lezarcha acharecha achuzat olam. Okay, so he said to me, behold, I will make you fruitful and many,
Multiply you.
multiply you. Okay, and I will make you the kahal, a congregation of peoples. Oh, and I will give you this land to your offspring after
You.
after you.
Just
It's a everlasting inheritance. Oh,
yeah, as an everlasting holding.
holding.
Possession.
Oh, possession. Okay. Okay, so Rashi, unataticha lekahal amim. Bisrani, she'atidim latzeit mimeni od kahal ve'amim. Okay, so it says Hashem informed me. Let's see that
In the future,
in the future, from me will come out
Kahal and
Mhm.
Ami. So two things, a Kahal, a congregation, and nations.
Okay. Yafal pi she'amar li goy ukahal goyim.
That's exactly what, in other words, the terminology which Hashem had said to Yaakov then was Goy or Kahal Goyim Yetze Mimecha.
Okay, so goy amorli al binyamin. So the nation to me is about Binyamin. Keha goyim hare shnayim. So the congregation of nations.
The Goy refers to one nation, and Kahal Goyim is like a congregation of nations, refers to another two. Levad mi Binyamin, besides Binyamin.
Oh, besides Binyamin. Okay. Vishuv lo nolad liben. And let's see, no other son
Were born to me.
was born to me. Okay. Limdani
This taught me.
Okay. Sha'atid echad b'shifatei
Shpotai
hai lehehalek.
Echalek. Right. It taught me that in the future, one of my tribes will be split into two.
Oh, yata ota matana ani notain lach.
that gift of that one son will become 2 tribes, that gift I'm giving to you.
Oh. Oh, so that's Ephraim and Manasseh, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. Okay, very good.
That's what he's saying over here. Right. And Saticho Lik Halami. Now I'll put you into a group of nations. Okay, it means there's going to be another 2. It's going to be Kahal, which is going to become Ami. And similar there, actually, the pasuk says, Kahal Goyim. It's the same idea. So
Ah,
therefore, those 2 are going to that should we say promise, which Hashem promised me that one of my sons is going to become like 2 tribes, 2 nations. That gift I'm going to give to you. Okay, so we'll stop here, I think. Bez Hashem will pick up tomorrow.
okay, very good. Yeshkayach, thank you.
Okay, have a
Thank
great
you,
day,
Rabbi.
everybody.
Go
Be well.
Okay, Shkayach, be well. Okay.